Hello, my name is Kyle, and I have over 30 years experience in the political area of all kinds of stuff, running campaigns. I was elected unanimously for the executive committee for the GOP in North Carolina. I've done a bunch of stuff, national committee man for Young Republicans, you name it, I've probably done it. And so when I'm talking here in this video, I want you to at least understand that I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. So I'm going to react to this video that Tulsi Gabbard said that she's going to leave the Democrat Party. And I'm going to react to that. It's about a minute long. And we're going to cover that. But for those of you who don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is, let me give you a quick refresher of what she did back in July of 2019 when she went after Kamala Harris. Check this clip out. It's amazing.
At the last debate, you called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
And also don't forget what she said about Tupac.
She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
And see, what I like about Tulsi, again, I would say this, I was never really a fan of hers, and I still am not in terms of her political position because it's still center left. However, in some ways, way far left. But however, I do like the fact that she, as center left as she may be, she's still way to the right of where Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the rest of the party are right now. It is out of control. And she is a beacon in a dense well and pit of absolute darkness, which is the Democrat Party. And so I'm looking forward to seeing this actual clip of her and what she has to say, because, you know, she just has to be frustrated. So let's just kick in here and watch this clip.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness, who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism, who actively work to
anti-white racism.
Undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution, who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war. Now, I believe in a government that's of the people, by the people, and for the people. Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite. Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense.
Okay, wow. I am floored by this message. This is way better than I thought I was going to be. Wow. I am deeply impressed by this message.
Independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party. If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me.
Wow, that's a true reaction. That's the first time I saw this message. I tried to cue it up. I saw the first few seconds of it, but wow, I am absolutely floored by this. I still wouldn't necessarily vote for her, but if it came down to a Democrat, she'd be the one I vote for. You know, in fact, if she's not a Democrat, it means I could vote for her because I'm never going to vote for a Democrat, period. I don't care what it is. I'm never going to vote for a Democrat ever, period. Anyway, but yeah, so she left the Democrat Party and she didn't say where she's going to go. So what does that mean? So let's just go over here to this article here on the Gateway Pundit and see if there's anything that we can glean out of this. Tulsi Gabbard leaves the Democrat Party. Elitist cabal of warmongers. I love that. I mean, the wording she used was just fantastic. Tulsi Gabbard is officially leaving the Democrat Party. Gabbard sought the Democrat presidential nomination in 2020 and retired from the House of Representatives in 2021. She did not announce she was joining the Republican Party, as I mentioned earlier. So you guys tell me, what do you think about this? Were you ever a fan of Tulsi Gabbard? And if you were, would you vote for it at some point? If you were not a fan of hers, like me, I mean, I liked her. I thought she was cool, decent. But would you consider now voting for someone like her? Or do you feel like we still need to stick with hardcore conservatives? Personally, I think we still need to stick with hardcore conservatives. However, someone like Tulsi Gabbard can absolutely help push the agenda forward, because just talking about America, just talking about being proud to be American, talking about borders that are not open, or just talking about common sense values that we all share traditionally as Americans, and get to the brass tacks of policy issues. I mean, whether the tax cut is 15% versus 20% are the kind of issues that we should be having, not whether or not we should be taking illegal immigrants and giving them full tax exempt status while letting people who've been here their entire lives, putting them under the massive tax burden of a so-called policy that says we're going to lower your inflation. Let me know about this. I'm curious. Just comment below and let me know. I would love to get into discussion and discuss this further. So until that, I'll see you guys in the next video.